You're listening to the Platte River Bard.
Hello, and welcome to the Platte River Bard. This is Chris Berger.
And I'm Sherry Berger.
And we are here today at the Omaha Community Playhouse. We are here talking with BJ Orduña. He is the artistic director, brand spanking new artistic director, and Brandon Box-Hidgem. He is the associate artistic director, also brand spanking new. They got all official on July 1st, but they've, of course, been around for a while. Thank you, gentlemen, for talking with us here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks for inviting us here. That was in stereo. That was awesome.
It was awesome. And maybe we should, so that people can identify the name with the voice. Give them an opportunity.
That's right. VJ, thank you very much.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me.
Awesome. And Brandon Box-Hidgem, thank you. You are the associate artistic director.
That's correct.
All right, very good. Now we can identify.
There we go.
Since we had that was a lovely response.
It was lovely.
Happens more often than it should, probably.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Great minds
If you
think
guys been
alike.
working together so much, you're starting to share a brain now.
That's it.
Yes. That's good though. That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a good thing.
So it has been busy for you lately, getting started on everything and getting into your new roles.
Yeah, it's a big organization, and it's funny. You know, you grow up here and you see it from the outside, and then you get inside and I'm like, wow, this is huge. Mm-hmm. So it's been a steep and stiff learning curve, but we're having a lot of fun. Just leaning in.
That's the thing.
Lean into it. Now, so now, BJ, for those who may not know, what is your previous experience with the Playhouse and just Omaha in general? Are you from the area? I'm not from the area, so are you from the area?
I am from the area. I have a large, prolific family, and I grew up here. I graduated from Central High School. Sweet. And went to undergrad at Midland Lutheran University. When I went, it was Midland Lutheran College.
Aha.
And my mother and her sisters. My mom just passed, but my mom and her sisters still live here. I have a lot of extended family. They're an arts family. My great aunt Claudette is a really well-known music director and piano teacher who's about to celebrate her birthday.
One of those.
One of those, yes.
Milestone.
She's amazing. And at the Playhouse, I grew up going to shows at the Playhouse.
Cool.
And I got to perform back in 1992, I want to say. I was in their production of The Wiz. I played the Scarecrow.
Cool! Oh, great part.
I was in college, and then I graduated and moved to New York, and have lived in New York. I lived in New York for several years.
Okay.
Worked quite a bit. Moved to Seattle, which I called home base for almost 23 years.
Oh wow!
The last, not including this current summer, but the last 3 summers, I helped build and directed for the UNO Summer Musical Theater Academy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Which is sort of what I think put me back on Omaha's radar.
Yeah.
For
yeah,
sure.
they have a great program during the summer. And you also said that your I hope I have it right, grandfather or father?
My uncle?
Uncle.
My uncle, yes, my uncle. My Uncle Joe was a Cornhusker and a part of the 1971-72 championship team.
Yes. Back when the Huskers were very, very great.
Yes, that's a big deal around these
It
parts.
is.
It is.
My gosh, yes. and from where I'm from, Kansas City. Good Lord, there's a lot of Husker fans down in Kansas City too. Holy cow. Yeah.
Take
Lots
every
of
opportunity.
red in Kansas City with the Chiefs and the Huskers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
Now, Brandon, Okay, so how did you come into the Playhouse's orbit here? How did you make your way here?
I got my undergrad in vocal performance and went right on to get my master's in directing, and decided that I was going to travel for a little while as a professional actor.
Nice.
And so my last contract was with the Nebraska Theater Caravan here at the Playhouse in 97, the 97-98 season, and ended up realizing that I was more of a roots kind of guy rather than living out of suitcase, which is what the acting is a lot in the career mode.
Sure.
And so stopped here, fell in love with the area, tried to direct at lots of theaters around the area, lived here for 12 years, doing shows here at the Playhouse, was in the cast of Secret Garden in the late 80s or late 90s, and then was in the first production of Ragtime on the main stage, and then also did Gross Indecencies, The Three Trials of Oscar Wilde, and The Drew. At the same time, was visiting with the then artistic director Carl Beck about, how do I get in and direct here? I would love to be able to direct, and so directed a couple of productions here, both one in each of the spaces.
Nice.
But wasn't able to really make a living in regards to the arts, and so was working during the day for Yonkers to pay the rent and
Sure.
do all of that. Jump ahead 12 years living here in Omaha, and suddenly kind of realizing something was a little bit off with what was happening with Yonkers, and all of a sudden, I'm down in 2009, down in Little Rock, Arkansas, where my dad lives and my family lives, and got dive bombed on a lady at my little sister's wedding by my dad, saying that this woman, Beverly, who worked for the Department of Ed for Arkansas, hey, Beverly, why don't you introduce my son to the non-traditional licensure program that you have going on here for teachers? Like, he could do that, and then literally walked away and left Beverly and I just standing there. And I'm like, hi, Beverly. I'm Brandon. It's nice to meet you. And everything just kind of rolled from there. I ended up moving down to Arkansas.
Oh, wow.
July 4th, 2009. Taught for 16 years in theater, speech, debate, all of that. But always kept my eye north to here at the Playhouse. I had always wanted to be a part of leadership here, and knew Carl and Susie, because I'd worked with both of them in shows, and I fell in love with the Playhouse from the moment I saw my first production here, which was La Cage aux Folles starring Jim Boggess and Joe Maloney, and just kept thinking, I'm like, this is community theater, oh my gosh, and so I applied every time that a position opened up, artistic, for 16 years, and then somehow the stars aligned last fall, and here I am. So returning home, and it's been lovely. It's been lovely being home. It's always been a real soft space in my heart for this area, for everyone in this building, so it's good to be back.
That's great to have two Omaha people back into the Playhouse. That's great.
That is. Now, this sounds like, is this your very first time, both of you actually being in the artistic director position, whether it's assistant, associate, or head, either way? Is this the first time for both of you?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah?
It's an interesting question. I've had just about every administrative job you can have in an arts
Yeah.
organization.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Working your way
it was
all
the
around
next
it.
logical step.
sure.
When I was in Seattle, I was the cultural arts coordinator for the city of Renton for 14 years and
Oh, wow.
ran their performing arts center. I spent my most recent job, I was running the performing arts center for the Edmonds School District. So I'm a big production guy. I spent
Sure.
several years early on as a professional stage manager and touring stage manager.
Okay.
So I have a lot of production experience. And then,
Heck yeah.
like Brandon, I spent almost 20 years in arts education. There's a wonderful theater company out there called Studio East. Their primary focus is performance and theater education, and I was their outreach manager and director of education for 4 or 5 years, specifically dealing with outreach and mobile productions.
Oh, wow.
And then, as I said, I what brought me back to Omaha, besides my mother, who was constantly saying, "There's a lot of theater here."
Yes,
job,
there
Mom.
is.
Yes, there is, Mom. Yes, there
My
is.
mom was right.
There is a lot of theater here. Was Hal France over at UNO had
Okay.
reached out to me. Becky Noble, who is our executive director,
Yes.
had said to him that he should call me because they were looking at building a program. And we had a wonderful 15-minute call that was supposed to be a consult, was an hour and a half, and then he said,
Nice.
"How about we hire you to come and do that?" And so I spent
Yeah.
3 summers here in Omaha, and as someone that grew up here but had been away for almost 30 years,
Yeah.
it was an incredible eye-opening experience. I was so blown away by how much talent, how much Omaha as a city has grown. You know, I think as a theater kid in the 90s, there was this sort of, I'm moving away from Omaha and I'm going to a city.
Right,
And
right.
it was really, really lovely to come back and go, this is a city.
Yeah.
It's a city that's vibrant, that has a huge arts community, but also still feels like home.
Yes.
Because the other thing is when you live in New York or you live in Seattle and some of those cities, they're great and we love them,
Sure.
but cities are tough, man.
Yeah.
Cities are
It's
tough.
a different place.
It is really nice to be home.
Well, and speaking, since you both have such a strong educational background, are there things along that avenue that you both are sort of looking forward to bringing to the Playhouse?
Yeah, I have been given the great opportunity through VJ to be able to kind of oversee the education program
sweet.
and be able to kind of help reimagine what that looks like. There's so many different arts education programs coming up here in the Omaha Metro, and so our challenge is to be able to find where our niche is, where we are we're not serving enough, and so our goal is to try and kind of settle in on what that looks like. We've got really great offerings starting this fall. Registration is open now for a lot of the fall courses.
Okay.
But we've been really digging into this idea of, once you take, for instance, acting 1, where is acting 2? Where is acting 3? We're
Right.
trying to be able to provide offerings for our patrons, for our students, that they can have an even bigger experience that kind of continues on, so that it doesn't feel like it's just a one and done kind of a thing. We're talking a lot about, what does one-stop shop workshops look like, where you just drop in for a day and learn? What does that look like? Is there a series that we can build in regards to, a one Saturday morning every month where we talk a lot about actor wellness and actor process and actor development? How do we develop your skills, whether it's through intimacy and stage combat, whether it's yoga, whether it's vocal production, and how do you protect and keep your voice safe while doing 5 or 6 shows a week,
exactly.
and maybe
Yeah.
in rehearsals at the same time. So there's a number of different things that we have kind of irons in the fire. So I guess I would encourage your listeners that if that is in those realms, that just keeping an eye on our education page on the website would be great, because we will have lots of really kind of interesting and cool opportunities coming.
And that will be for all ages. We're not just
Yes.
talking
For
just
kids.
younger folk, but that
Yep.
will be for all
Everybody.
ages, which is very important.
Right.
Well,
And adults 19 plus. I mean, we've got offerings there too.
That's big, because there's less for once you get out of high school and college. It seems like there's less for those folks. Yeah.
Well, one of the other nice things about both of us having an educational background, when you look at the Playhouse, we love that we do these amazing professional shows. But one of the things that's really special about this place it is a community theater, and sort of being able to look at our whole mission statement holistically and talking about how do we make sure that our shows are accessible to the entire community.
Yeah.
How do we meet everyone where they're at? Because it's wonderful to get those folks in the door who have 80 shows under their belts and are gonna
Sure.
they're ready to just take off. But it's also really nice to be able to talk to the people we hire, as we both direct shows, be able to look at that person and go, and you haven't done a show since you were in college, or this is your first show ever, there's still a place for you here because this is the place where you can grow and thrive. And I think that's something rather unique that we both get to bring to the table, is this real love of, we're a community and you're all welcome here. And the educational piece is, and if you don't know how to do it, we are happy to show you.
Yeah, which is the really nice part about it. And that is, I think that is something important to bring up, is that this place is so big, it might think, oh, well, gosh, I've never done anything before, so I can't go audition there. That's just the opposite.
It's completely the opposite. Yeah. I've been reflecting a lot over the last 2 months since I've been here in regards to my path to this point and what that journey has been. My little sister, who is she's got her master's in social work, and she's into working with students and trying to help them grow and nurture them and that kind of thing, said, I just said, my God, it took me 16 years to get here, and I applied every time that a position opened. And she said, but you weren't ready. You didn't see it. It took you the 16 years to get to this point. Yeah. And now now the stars have aligned and you're opening yourself up. I think in regards to education, taking that first step is the most important thing. Like finding your gumption and finding your strength to be able to take that first step, to take a class, to, if you've had a dream of getting on stage or something like that. There are opportunities and offerings within our building, and we've got people, on staff that I keep saying, as a director, I'm a nurturer. I'm also a cheerleader. I'm a nurturer for those actors who have 80 shows under their belt. I'm a cheerleader for this one is my first show, and we figure out how to get everybody up on the same level. I'm not the only one that has that capacity within this building. Like everybody that is here believes in this building, believes in this space, believes in our programs. And so just taking that first step and starting your journey with us would be great.
It's also really wonderful to sort of look at the service piece, right? How does art serve our community? It's funny, my sister, who's been harassing me for years to move back, she is the chair of the Kansas State Democratic Party. And so she's all about service. She's all about, and when this job came open, and I spent a lot of time thinking, do I want to move back to Omaha? Yeah. What does that look like? Right. One of the things we spent a lot of time talking about is how, as leadership, can you serve? What are the things you can bring to the table? And how does this building, which is so iconic and so important, how does it serve the community? Which is one of the things that really drew me to my position, is what kind of influence can we have on our community? Because we need community right now.
Yes, oh my goodness.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And some of your classes, that's actually a really great segue to talk about some of your auditions and people being able to prepare themselves for auditions. And I'm assuming that you also, I believe you also have those classes for all ages.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Actually, we've talked about Brandon and I teaching those classes so that if people are taking them, they really get a chance to sort of work with people who are like, not only do we know what we're doing, we're the people you'll be auditioning for. Yeah. So come, learn, let's help you take the sting and the fear out of this process.
That's great. They won't get so freaked out.
Well, we just auditioned Grease.
Oh.
And we had over, I think it was almost 90 people audition for 26 roles.
Yeah, wow.
And it was amazing. I mean, the talent was phenomenal. There were so many great people, but it was also really great to see people who very clearly this was it's a show they love and this was their first time. And being able to be in the room and support them and encourage them. It was an amazing experience. I enjoyed it, and we got a wonderful cast out of it.
I've always had an easy experience auditioning here. It's never been, it always seems like it should be intimidating because, it's a big building and everything, and it's been here for so long. No, it never is. Everybody's always made it such a positive, easy experience. Yeah. So, don't be intimidated. They've been around for a long time. That's okay. That's a good thing. Now, are both of you going to take a show directing wise?
Actually, the way our contract,
or multiple shows, maybe? Or all of the shows?
as artistic leadership, our contract reads, we standardly do about 10 shows a season.
Okay.
Christmas Carol being its own
It's
fantastic
its
mythic
own
beast.
machine.
Machine. So in our regular season, we each do 3.
Oh, okay. Oh,
We each do 3.
very busy.
So-
Yes,
And then any of the other ones, we have applications in the spring for guest directors and so we open it up for anyone who has that directing background that wants to be able to do that. They can send in the application, and then we review all of those and kind of make those artistic decisions from there to cover the other shows. So, but yeah, so.
Are the upcoming shows, were you guys here early enough? Did you get to participate in choosing those?
No.
Okay. So this upcoming season, you guys didn't get to
Yeah.
have a hand in that. Wasn't sure if you guys got to be here early enough for that. Okay.
Because of when I was hired. I was hired, and then you start, right?
Right.
I was hired in January, so there were a lot of conversations, and I was living in Seattle, so there were a lot of conversations. I got to join via Zoom.
Oh, that's good.
And so I got
Yeah.
I got to sort of see the whole process.
Okay.
And I got to work really closely with Becky and Alex and Susie, the 2 outgoing, who are wonderful artists.
Yes.
And then I got to interview Brandon for his final interview.
Oh, okay.
He came on board in February, and then he and I, when you talked about us being in sync,
Yeah.
we've been in contact every Sunday since like February 15th or whatever that
Oh my
was.
gosh.
That's great.
And actually, we ended the interview. It was an hour and a half, and then both of us looked in the cameras and were like, "I kind of feel like I could keep talking to you for another 4 or 5 hours." Is that weird to say?
And under the heading of
great.
heading of a small world, Brandon is connected to every human in Omaha. It's the most.
Are you one of those people?
As we move through our world, going
Does he,
to attend
know
things.
everybody?
Everyone knows him.
Yes.
He is well known, and as a result, we both know all of the same people. But in all of our time, we were in New York at the same time. We were here around the same time. We never crossed paths. We have several friends in common.
Oh, wow.
But it
It's
was
wild.
I mean, that
That
was
is
one of those things
wild.
that was really great about the interview. I was like, huh.
I had a really good friend that I met later in life like that, and we had found out that we had known all the same people and hung out at all the same places. Like, how did we never see each other?
Yeah.
Because it
That's
wasn't
amazing.
the right
That's awesome.
time.
It wasn't the right time.
That was awesome.
Exactly.
Yes, and we turned out to be very good friends. So yes. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, one of the things that is really great is we really, really enjoy each other, and we have very similar philosophies because our artistic trajectories work very similar paths. Brandon was in the public school system. I tended to work more in the private and arts realm,
Okay.
but we both have huge commitments to education, to community, to diversity, and we both worked professionally a lot, but weren't necessarily locked into that world. I always knew someday I wanted to run my own theater. That was always the goal. A goal I learned here. When you talk about looking from the outside in, I remember going to shows back when Charles Jones was here
Oh my gosh.
and thinking, I want to do that. Ironically, I never saw myself necessarily doing that here, which is a really fun
Right.
sort of, wow,
Oh.
look what life did.
Yeah.
But,
so here then. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great, but it's always something I've wanted to do.
That's cool. That's neat. That's almost like that is like a coming home full circle type
It
of
is.
moment. That's actually really cool.
Well, and I love the idea about having a season that's eligible, that's open to everyone in the community, every age, every ethnicity, you know,
Yeah.
all of it. It's nice. I know it's hard though. I mean, I know how difficult picking a production has to be when you don't have all of those elements. But I love that that's something that I know that the Playhouse really tries to do.
Well, and we've talked a lot about this. I know as an African American, it's one of those things that has always been important to me. And as I've had my professional journey, one of the things I realized is what we do is we're storytellers. And I've always approached theater from the place of whose story is it to tell? And sometimes there are shows that are very specifically someone's story to tell. That is their story. However, what we do innately is pretend to be other people. What we do is make believe, and then we tell the human story. So I've always tried to look at how I cast, less about how do I pick a show? Do I need to pick this show because it's this or that show because it's that? And look at a show and go, hey, there are a bunch of humans in this show. Who can play that?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's it's a slightly different way of looking at diversity, and it's worked out really well. We just posted our greased cast list on social, and the response was huge, and people are, I think, really excited about how innovative we were, and I laugh when I hear that. I'm like, no, we just let who came do what they do, and this is what we got.
Yeah. Best person got the job, and that's what you're looking at right there. I think that's fantastic.
A lot of our audiences walked away from Titanic thinking, like, my goodness, that show is beautiful, and oh my gosh, the voices. And I cannot wait for audiences to hear that Grease cast unleash when they get ready, because it's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
And that brings me to my next question. So what show do you absolutely have on your list that you want to do?
Yeah, and any show that you want to just sort of put out there into the ether.
What's in your back pocket that you're dying to do?
Yeah, under the heading of the universe giving you what you need.
Yeah, gosh, it would be really cool. Yeah.
I think everybody, when you direct, has those dream shows. Brandon and I have spent a lot of time talking about, we're currently in season 101. Season 102 is the one we get to plan.
Okay.
And as we're looking at that, the universe keeps aligning in very strange ways, including the fact we got reached out to, and we announced early, our first show of season 102 is going to be Come From Away, which is a show that I absolutely love, not just because of its connection to 9/11, but because it premiered and workshopped in Seattle, so I got to see the original cast years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was when you were in Seattle?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
cool.
that's one. We do have some others in the offing, but we're not allowed to talk about
That's
it.
all right.
Can't talk about it.
Question.
Because also, like, you know, we also have a season reveal usually in the
Right,
spring.
yeah.
That's
and
true, that's
we
true.
kept thinking, we're like, well, we just need to hold on to those because we won't have a season reveal. We don't announce till March because we also search for sponsors and things like that.
Absolutely.
So it was locked in before we even were hired. So that's why we were handed this season. And so that's why we're also working on 102 right now.
Okay, and
So.
you guys are actively sort of planning out 102.
Yeah, with our play reading.
So actively.
So actively. But it's interesting that you guys, you know, that we're talking about this because we are in that headspace of coming home and what does family look like and what does, you know, for some of us, what is that chosen family that looks like, that's not necessarily blood, you know, that it is my, you know, my chosen family that I choose to spend the holidays with and all of that kind of stuff. And so those are the types of thematic things that we're looking at in
We're
regards
actually looking
to
at building seasons around themes again.
Yeah.
great.
Sort of, what is our narrative story we're
I'm
telling?
a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of the season theme. I know some directors hate that. They're like, oh, that's stupid. I just want to do what I want to do. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I'm a big fan of the theme.
Themes are good.
Well, like I said, what we do is we tell stories, and then how are you going to sell? How are you going if you don't have a story?
Yeah.
My mom, who was one of my big influences, used to always say, why are you talking if you don't have something to say? And so I love sort of looking at our artistic voice in that way. What are you trying to say? And we did. So 102 for us is all about homecoming and family and relationships.
That's the quote of the day.
Community.
It is.
Community.
Why are you talking if you don't have anything to say?
There you go.
That's heavy.
That is the quote of the day.
Thank you, Mama.
She could do some politics. Clean it up for us.
Her daughter is. So there we go.
Say, yeah.
Her daughter
She's
is.
going.
She's going.
Yeah. And we were so fortunate to do a podcast about this upcoming season.
Yes, they got a great season coming up.
Yes,
So in
Mary and
case you
Becky.
need a
So
reminder
I will
about that.
I will link that in the show notes.
That's right.
So we have that one too. They can listen.
Yes, you can go back and listen for the complete rundown of all the season of what they're doing this season.
And encourage people to buy season tickets because
Yeah.
it's going to be a beautiful, wonderful season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which ones? Are you taking any of the upcoming ones?
Yeah, our shows are
Yeah, they're
assigned.
doing-
So okay, so which ones are you guys doing coming up?
I've got Grease. Brandon is stepping in for.
I'm going to be doing Angels in America.
Oh,
the
cool.
part 2.
The part 2 one, yes.
Version. And then I will be shadowing Christmas Carol. It was my.
Are you?
Yeah, I was. Here, and that was one of the opportunities that Carl gave me was to be able to direct the Cratchit scenes for the national tours.
Oh,
so I have been
you were a
involved.
Cratchit director.
Yes, and then was
Awesome.
also kind of immersed into the tour as well when I was in Nebraska Theater Caravan. And then I will be doing Hair, the musical, which will be in the Drew in
Hair.
February, and then closing out the season with Mary Poppins on the main stage.
And I will have the piano lesson in the Hawks.
Nice.
And then I have Disaster, which I'm super excited about
Yes.
because I was raised on campy, scary. They were supposed to be scary disaster movies in the 70s.
Yeah, they were
And
supposed to be scary.
And I love them. I have a bunch on DVD for those young folks out there. Those are the discs you put in the
Yeah.
machine.
Yes, I know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I have to wait
But
for
I'm
some-
super excited about it. It's disco music. It's
Yeah,
lots
because
of,
it's 70s period, right?
yes, it's literally all of these disaster themes in one
I'm
campy.
so curious about
It's-
that show. I have
It's
not
hysterical.
seen it.
I'm really excited about it.
super
I
good.
hadn't actually encountered it before the season, and when I was doing research on the season, I was like, oh, we're gonna have all. I love camp. I love ridiculous, and I love disco. So
Yes.
let's go.
That's awesome. Hilarious.
Well, and our other two shows both have guest directors, which are really great. Alex Rodriguez, who was our outgoing artistic director. One of the things that, as he was leaving, I was like, you have to stay and do River Bride because it's this wonderful piece. So he is
okay.
currently in rehearsals for that.
Okay, cool.
And then
And then Addie Barnhart is taking over Dial M for Murder, which will be right before Mary Poppins, and they're both on the main stage. So Dial M for Murder will open on April 17th.
and she is
that'd be
fierce.
cool.
I'm so
She is
excited about
fierce.
what she's going
Yeah.
to do with that script.
So excited.
I love it.
It's great. We're
No, it's nice to see you guys. What a great team.
Yeah.
That you could just tell, man. you guys are going to do such a great job. It's very exciting. Thank you for agreeing to talk with us.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
inviting us here to your place now.
Yeah.
This is your place.
Her place.
Oh my goodness. Pinch me.
That's great. We're so excited for you. Thank you so much for talking to us and
Thank you for
break
having
all the
us.
legs.
Yes.
Absolutely. And come out and audition for things.
Yes.
Mm.
You can, yep.
I may have to again.
And also, when you're in the lobbies, don't be afraid to come up and say hello.
All right,
Aw.
we'll do that.
If you can get to him.
Thank you for listening and supporting the arts in the Platte River area and beyond. Please subscribe to our podcast so you are sure to catch all of our future episodes and join us on social media. See you next time on the Platte River Bard.